Hello, at our Talking Toddlers webinar the other week, we were looking at how we make the most of the missional opportunity that is Christmas. We know that 74% of families of under fives have a connection with a church because of activities for their children. But we know that only 27% of these families will come to a church service over Christmas. And that means that our toddler groups at Christmas time are a massive opportunity because they're the main place where these families will hear the Christmas story. So that's what we were thinking about in our Talking Toddlers webinar. And we also launched our God's Big Story book for children. About the Christmas story of God's Big Story for Children, Jesus to the Rescue. And I want to introduce you now the amazing Vladka Coupar, who runs a toddler group in Worthing, and she's using our God's Big Story materials with her toddler group. She's going to talk to us a little bit about God Washes the World, because she's already used that with her toddler group. And then she's going to talk to us a little bit about Jesus to the Rescue and just how she's finding this God's Big Story material. Hi, Vladka. I'm so pleased that you are with us today and that you're going to share with us a bit about your toddler group and a bit about how you're using our God's Big Story resources, particularly the story of Noah, God Washes the World. I've heard you talk about it. You talk with so much passion and creativity. I think people are going to really love hearing you. But why don't you just take a couple of minutes just to introduce yourself, tell us who you are, what your role is, where you're from, and a little bit about the context of your toddler group.
Hi, Samuel. Thank you. It's so lovely to be with you. Yes, I get very excited, which is the best way to be with the little ones. So yes, my name is Vladka Coupar. And I work for Broadwater Parish, which is in very sunny Worthing this morning, which is really lovely. And we run currently a toddler group once a week. And it's really lovely to see that it is growing. It's a very popular part of the community. And that is not just the parish community, it's the wide world community of Worthing. We've got people coming from all over the side. So it's lovely that they have got a safe place to come together.
Yes, you were saying that your toddler group's a bit of a meeting point, kind of families and friends meet up there.
Yes, absolutely. So we have got parents come in, we have got professional carers, childminders come in, and we have got different ends of families who live across different parts of Worthing. That they come every week and they meet up each other. Sisters come, bring their children, they bring their sister-in-law as well. And occasionally grandma comes as well, which is absolutely fabulous. So a bit of a party for everyone, really.
An intergenerational toddler group. And you've been using, or you have used, our God's Big Story resources. So the first one that came out in September, God Washes the World, you used that in your toddler group. Can you tell us how you used it? Kind of describe what happened to us.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I happened upon the book quite by accident, almost just listening by one of your webinars, and I got really excited. Loved the title, God Washes the World. There's just so much I thought I could do with this. So it kind of fitted really nicely alongside other stuff which we were doing, like creating different crafts and having stuff, playtime with animals and all sorts. So that fitted into really lovely. And the fact that we could do some messy crafts, very messy crafts, in fact. And then we were washing hands and washing stuff, and then sort of linking that to the title was quite easy. So it, came very naturally. So that was really exciting. But of course, the concept of the story was even more, we were so much there. We had the whole world and, all sorts of other songs we could sing with that. But it just came really naturally, and so we used it at the end of our a mini series of play and crafts. It's like a celebration week, and we had your lovely book and to look at and to give away. So it was really nice. Yeah.
So I've seen some of Vladka's pictures, and she actually washed a globe to make the point as she told the story. But that's the thing that excited me, Vladka. You gave a copy, to each of the families that were there. Why did you do that?
Well, it was actually to each children, because
Each
each child, yes, because it was very important that each of the children have their own. And so, whether you were a baby or whether you were actually walking away as a toddler, you had the book. And the reason was that, first of all, sometimes I remember memories from my own childhood when you got something and you didn't expect it. There was that point that you were not expecting to walk away everything. You came to play and somebody gave you something. It becomes quite precious. So there's a couple of things that I believe that there's some of those books will be really, really treasured. Okay. And so, there are those children who will be looking at them. They'll be really excited because this is something they got and it was an unexpected gift. Okay. And then some books will just be laying in a corner of the room, and there's loads of other toys, and that's fine as well, because perhaps somebody will come upon it and they just read it as they meant to, as designed by God, not by us, but it's there, it's in the household, and somebody's gonna pick it up and have fun with it when they need to. So it's really exciting.
And when they pick it up, it might speak to them. And you've been saying to me, Sammy, am I right in thinking that there are going to be about 12 books in the series? And I've said, yeah, give me a bit of time, but there will. So what I'm hoping, Vladka, is that you're going to give out each book to the child. And then, it might not be that particular child. They might have gone to school, but they might have a younger sibling. And eventually we'll find that the whole series will be on a bookshelf in a family's house. And they've got access then to that big story from the Bible.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I was hoping, which I probably wasn't able to share with you yet, but that's my current plan anyhow, is that if there is a 12 books, that fits really well for me in terms of the school terms and the way they work. So if we've got 3 school terms and we've got 6 half terms, then I can give a book out each half term. So that will bring me to about 2 yearly program. Now, I don't want anybody to be impressed with the fact that I might have a 2 yearly program for my daughter. I still am cutting out the night before I go to. So no, I am not a super sort of leader or anything. But I think the fact that there is an overriding route for us for kind of bringing God's word within the 2 years in this exciting way. It's really exciting. It is lovely. And the other thing which I have mentioned is the fact that there is a clear reference. So I have now seen your new book for Christmas, which I'm very excited about as well. And that there are references, in the books, which you can recognize as you read them together. So whether it's the animation or whether it's the word, that you can recognize it from one book to another. And I think that's really, really helpful because it will stick into children's mind and, hopefully stay there.
Yeah, and that's the plan, that across the 12 books, there will be visual references and also words and phrases that link all of them together. And I'm just so impressed that even though you've only had Jesus to the Rescue a couple of days, you've spotted the links with Noah already.
Yeah, you don't know how many times I read it. That's I know it by heart, but I'm not quite.
So Vladka, you've got God Washes the World. You've got Jesus to the Rescue. Yeah. Sounds like you've read them a number of times. Some people who are watching this might not have seen them, come across them before. At the risk of kind of embarrassing myself, because I do know some of what you're going to say, because you've been very, very kind in our conversations, could you tell people why they should get hold of the God's Big Story series of resources, what you like about them, and why you think they're a really effective missional tool?
Well, for me, one of the things which first caught my eye was the animation and the fact that the book looked very, very current, okay, and which then makes it much more easier for me to present the material and get excited about it. The other thing is that actually you chose to use the Maryland, the Happy Land rather, and we've got those toys in the toddler group. So the children are playing with them, they, acquainted with that, and then you see somewhere in a picture, you make the link, and therefore it brings the story to life. So that is something which really appealed to me, because that again is adding to the fact that the book is relevant and is current now. And of course, we know that the stories which you tell, there's not a new story. It is a story which has been, through the humanity, is been told many times, but it's how we tell them, isn't it? So any tool which helps me to bring story to life for children as they are right now, I'll be there and I'll grab it. So the books, that's what they did to me, so the fact that it's such a great animation and it uses the toys which children can physically play with, it's a massive plus. They also actually come in quite a good format. I think they are right size. They're not overly big. I think anything smaller will just probably, not quite fit in. So they were in good format. So yeah, I'm very excited, and all this then gives me confidence to work with the material and get other excited about it. So whether you some of the other teachers on our lovely team can use them as well with the same confidence than I would. Yeah, so very exciting, very current, and actually, for me, I did have to look at the funds I have, and how I'm gonna kind of program. Overall, they came at really accessible price as well for me. Yeah.
I know some people have found that postage can be quite expensive if they're buying in bulk because, the price goes up with weight. So just in case you're watching this, sometimes the postage is more expensive than the books. But if you call our office, our fantastic Sue will always advise you on the best way of getting them as postage, the kind of cheapest way. So she might break your order down into smaller bits for you. So yeah, we want these books to be in as many hands as possible to share God's big story with our youngest families. So do always talk to us, whether the price of the books or even if it's the postage, if that's ever an issue. Yeah. So Vladka, you were also saying about your team. Your team is very diverse and you have confidence using these with your team, because mission's all about removing barriers, isn't it? And so because they're accessible and not threatening, it doesn't matter if somebody is an experienced, mature Christian or quite new to faith.
Yes, and and that's absolutely right. So as I was saying earlier, that we all have preference. I'm a talker, as you might have noticed. So I prefer to tell, I'll tell a lot of stories. And in that respect, even in material, there is so much there that I can hang on to, and I can pray and seek God's guidance and what to talk about more. Like with the God Washes the World, we had a moment because we were washing hands, because we were very messy after doing craft. We were homing about the fact, what do we wash and how do we do it, and why does the world doesn't fit in a wash machine, and that kind of stuff. And that was really exciting, and that spoke to me. But I am aware that I also have other people on the team who just love to literally unpick every page of the book and look at the different page, different things on the page, and do the counting, and look at the link and the relevance to the next page. And that's important as well. So for me, it's very exciting because I know that across our team, whatever your teaching style, you can pick these up, you see. And so for some of us, they may be more of an idea, and then we're happy to kind of just look for the children to look through the book. And for some of us, we actually will go page by page and word by word and look in the story like that. So there's loads there to go on.
Vladka, you said that the books give you confidence. I think you've given us confidence. You've certainly given me confidence in something that I wrote. But I think if people are listening to this, watching this, and they've not come across it before, the fact that you have the authenticity of being a toddler group leader who's used this resource, and you've clearly explained why you think it works in your context, I think that will give lots of people confidence and they'll find it really useful. So thank you ever so much, Vladka.
Pleasure. That's my pleasure. Anytime.
I hope you were inspired by Vladka. I think her passion and creativity is just amazing. And I definitely love how she sees that toddler group that she runs through those missional lenses. If it has made you interested in the God's Big Story series of resources, do check out our webpage where God Washes the World and Jesus to the Rescue are both available. As Vladka said, and as we talked about, more will be available over the next few years. We're hoping that there will be 12 that stand alone as individual books, but that together tell that story arc of the Bible that is God's big story. For now, God Washes the World and Jesus to the Rescue are both available in our shop, and both come with linked animations, songs, toddler group resources, and downloadable colouring sheets. So I hope that's helped you as you prepare for Christmas. Maybe we can carry just a little bit of that preparation load. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.